Most people think saving $100,000 is impossible, but that's a lie. If you've ever looked at your bank account after a month of hard work and wondered where it all went, or if you've ever felt like you're running on a treadmill that never actually moves forward, this is for you. We are told that wealth is for the lucky, the inherited, or the genius, but the reality is that the first 6 figures are just a game of mechanics. By the end of this video, you'll see why hitting your first $100,000 is much simpler than you think and exactly how to do it. The reason that $100,000 feels like an impossible mountain to climb is that most people are fighting against a psychological invisible ceiling. When you are starting from zero, the distance to $100,000 feels like light years. If you're saving $200 a month, your brain does the math and realizes it will take you over 40 years to get there. That realization is a motivation killer. It makes the goal feel so distant that you decide to enjoy your money now rather than wait for a future that feels like a fantasy. This is where most people fail before they even begin. The statistics tell a grim story. The average person lives paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't work hard, but because they lack a clear system for wealth building. Without a system, money is like water in a leaky bucket. You keep pouring more in through your job, but it disappears through countless small holes. Most people believe they don't earn enough to save, but for many, the problem isn't the income, it's the perception of the goal. We treat $100,000 as one giant terrifying entity instead of a series of logical steps. This lack of a clear framework makes every financial setback feel like a sign that wealth isn't meant for you. To break through this, you need a radical mindset shift. You have to understand that the first $100,000 is the hardest money you will ever make. Charlie Munger, the legendary investor, famously said that the first $100,000 is a total grind, but you have to do it. Why? Because this is the point where your money begins to do the heavy lifting for you. Think of it like a rocket ship. It uses 80% of its fuel just to leave the launch pad and break the Earth's gravity. Once it's in orbit, it requires almost no effort to keep moving. Your first 6 figures are your escape velocity. Once you reach this milestone, compound growth starts to kick in. If you have $100,000 invested and it grows by 7%, you've made $7,000 just by existing. That is money you didn't have to trade your time for. This is the foundation of true financial freedom. To get there, you must stop thinking about luck and start thinking about systems. Consistency is the only thing that beats market volatility and bad luck over the long term. Imagine a person who starts with nothing, works a regular job, but ruthlessly manages their gap, the difference between what they earn and what they spend. They don't need a windfall, they just need time and a plan. There are 3 simple rules to hitting your first $100,000. The first is to earn more. You cannot save your way out of a poverty level income. If you want to accelerate your journey, you need to increase your value to the marketplace. This doesn't mean working more hours at a minimum wage job. It means acquiring high-demand skills. Whether it's sales, coding, digital marketing, or a specialized trade, increasing your earning potential is the fastest way to widen the gap. Side hustles are great, but focusing on your primary income source or a high-paying skill is often the more efficient route to wealth building. The second rule is to spend less, but not in the way you think. It's not about skipping your morning coffee or living a life of misery. It's about practical money management and avoiding the big expenses that drain your wealth. The biggest wealth killers are cars, housing, and food. If you can keep your fixed costs low while your income rises, you create a massive surplus. This surplus is your seed money. Every dollar you don't spend is a soldier working for your future. You have to be willing to live like no one else now, so you can live like no one else later. The third rule is to invest smart. You cannot reach $100,000 quickly by leaving your money in a traditional savings account that pays pennies in interest. You need to make your money work for you. For most people, this means low-risk, long-term methods like index funds or ETFs that track the total stock market. If you save $500 a month and invest it at a modest return, you'll be shocked at how the timeline shrinks. The goal isn't to find the next meme stock or a get-rich-quick scheme. It's to put your money in proven vehicles that grow over time. However, even with these rules, many people fall into common mistakes that slow them down. The most dangerous is lifestyle inflation. This happens when every time you get a raise or a bonus, you immediately upgrade your life. You get a better car, a bigger apartment, or more expensive clothes. Suddenly, despite earning more, you feel just as broke as you did before. This is a trap that keeps people in the middle class forever. To hit your first $100,000, you must keep your lifestyle steady while your income climbs. Another mistake is relying on luck or timing. People wait for the perfect moment to invest or wait for a windfall that never comes. They think they need to wait wait until the market is right or until they have a big chunk of money to start. This delay is the most expensive mistake you can make. Time is the most powerful factor in the wealth equation. Every month you wait to start is a month of compounding you will never get back. Finally, a lack of tracking is a silent killer. If you don't know where every dollar is going, you cannot control your financial destiny. You cannot manage what you do not measure. To make this whole process feel simple, rather than overwhelming, you need to use a psychological trick. Break the big goal into tiny, manageable milestones. $100,000 is a huge number, but $1,000 is easy. $5,000 is achievable. $10,000 is a solid win. Instead of looking at the summit of the mountain, look at your feet. Every time you hit a $1,000 milestone, celebrate it. This builds momentum. Momentum is the secret sauce of financial success. When you see your balance grow from $5,000 to $10,000, something in your brain clicks. You realize that the system works. Think of your progress in 1% increments. Each $1,000 you save is 1% of your goal. When you frame it this way, you aren't failing because you aren't at 100,000 yet. You're simply moving the progress bar forward. This visualization makes the process concrete. You stop worrying about the distant future and start focusing on the next 1%. Before you know it, the math begins to accelerate. The jump from 20,000 to 30,000 feels faster than the jump from 0 to 10,000 because you've developed the habits and the discipline required to win. Hitting your first $100,000 is not about being a genius or getting lucky. It is about the relentless application of simple math and disciplined habits. It is about widening the gap between your income and your expenses, and then putting that gap to work in the market. It is a grind, and it will require sacrifices, but the freedom waiting on the other side is worth every bit of effort. Once you hit that six-figure mark, the rules of the game change, and wealth building becomes an automated process rather than a manual struggle. Which of these steps are you going to start today? Are you going to focus on increasing your income? Or is it time to finally track your spending and plug the leaks? Maybe today is the day you finally open that investment account. Whatever it is, move that first 1%. If you want to see exactly how to take that first 100,000 and turn it into 1 million, you need to keep this momentum going and stay focused on the long game. The path is simple, the system is proven, and the only thing left to do is take the first step. Turn your financial goals into a reality by starting right now. Stay disciplined and keep your eyes on the milestones, and watch how quickly the impossible becomes your new reality. Your future self will thank you for the work you do today.